How you guys doing? Another Saturday where our weekend can't be ruined because Tottenham are not in the FA Cup. So there is a positive to this. Your weekend cannot be ruined. My weekend cannot be ruined. We've got a big 7 or 8 days until the North London derby. We've just brought in our new manager to the end of the season, Igor Tudor, who will be managing us on an interim basis. I was having a fantastic Saturday. I really was. Went out for a nice walk with the dog. Got myself down the gym to try and lose some of this dad bod. And I've just seen that Tottenham potentially could be selling Bergvall to Chelsea or Aston Villa. Now, I have been saying this for a long, long time on this channel. I have been saying that if we don't get European football and we don't sort our act out, a lot of these talented players that we do have will be looking at moves. Now, is this agent-based? Potentially. But the fact it's coming out from David Ornstein tells you this is a very credible journalist, one of the best in the game, that there is a lot of truth in the report that he's come out with. Now, Bergvall hasn't had the best of seasons injury-wise. He's picked up a few knocks. But there is no doubt about it that there is a lot of talent in him. And he, with the right manager, with the right man-to-man manager as well, not just the way he's managed on the pitch, off the pitch, with the right team around him, he can definitely be effective for a lot of teams. You know, people forget that he is, coming to Spurs, rejected moves to bigger football clubs. He's 21 years of age, something like that. Maybe 20, I think. It might be 20. I think he's just turned 20, actually. Very, very good player. But unfortunately for him, injuries this season have kept him out of a lot of games. But he's very versatile. He can play a number of positions. He can play in a double pivot. He can play the 8. No one really knows his out-and-out best position. But don't you fucking dare Tottenham selling to Chelsea. Don't you dare even contemplate in selling him. But due to how poorly this football club has been run from the hierarchy perspective, due to how poorly we really, really are at the moment, does anyone blame Bergvall for wanting a move? Does anyone blame any of these players for wanting a move? Christian Romero this season has been calling out the board left, right, and centre, and according to various reports, is interested in a move away with Atletico Madrid interested. I would not be at all surprised if Mickey van der Ven left this football club. But listen to me when I tell you this. This isn't even a rebuild because we are starting off. We're not rebuilding like the 2008 Manchester United team had to do when they lost players like Wayne Rooney, lost players like Cristiano Ronaldo, or Chelsea when they lost Eden Hazard, or Liverpool when they lose Salah and Van Dijk. We finished 17th last season and we were on the verge of even getting relegated. Relegation is not out of the realms of possibility for Tottenham this season. We've just brought in a manager who has never managed in the Premier League, right? Hopefully he can do well. But there is a lot wrong with this football club right now. The fan base are unhappy and we've got every right to be. No one really wants to go to the games. Online, it is a cesspit on the socials because people are fed up. And the timing of this report, look, in the last week, this football club is basically EastEnders. Let's call it for what it is. We are a soap. We're like Coronation Street or EastEnders. You got Ange Postecoglou the day after Thomas Frank gets sacked, goes onto the overlap and rips the football club to shreds. Not only that, today, you've got David Ornstein dropping a report that Chelsea and Villa back in the January transfer window were interested in Lucas Bergvall. Like the club, from a PR perspective, everything is going horrendously wrong. You couldn't have possibly asked for a worse 7 or 8 days from a Tottenham perspective. You sack the manager, Ange Postecoglou goes and rips the club a new one, left, right, and centre, says the mentality is all wrong. And then you get David Ornstein dropping a report. The timing of all of this is diabolical. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and you let me know your thoughts. The road to 20,000 subscribers is well and truly on. Yesterday's video and the day before that, the content on this channel, you guys seem to really, really be enjoying it. we've hit unbelievable numbers, unbelievable amount of likes. So we can get 1,000 likes on this video. That'd be greatly appreciated. And as it stands, we're less than 100 away from 12,000. The road to 20K is on. Now, David Ornstein brought this tweet out. That Tottenham have rebuffed inquiries from rivals for Lucas Bergvall in January. Chelsea and Aston Villa made contact to check the situation to strengthen their midfield and a mid-20s reduced role. But Tottenham have no plan to consider exit. Now, he's been with us 2 years now. He's been with us and done really, really well, considering he is only 20. He's nearly made, I think he's made 70 appearances in a Spurs shirt. His contract situation at the club, is we're in a position of, I would say, strength with his contract. He signed a 7-year deal. So Tottenham are in a position where they can turn around and say, if you want to buy him, you are going to have to pay a huge transfer fee. Now, his player agent is Nordic Sky. Now, according to transfermarket.co.uk, they value him at 40 million euros. I think that is way off. In this market, Newcastle United sold Elanga for 50 million pounds. We nearly paid 60 million for Morgan Gibbs-White. In this market, we could quite easily demand the fee of 50, 60 million. Ramsey joined Newcastle United from Aston Villa for about 35, 40 million. Bergvall, for me, is a better player than Ramsey. He just needs a manager who can put their arm around him and get the most out of him. Last season under Ange Postecoglou, he played very, very well. He actually showed that he's got, the capability. He played 27 Premier League games last season. And he played 12 games in the Europa League. So he played over 40 matches last season, 4 in the League Cup. So that's 44 games last season. This season, he's played 17 in the Premier League, 2 in the League Cup, 1 in the Super Cup. That's 26 in the Champions League. But as you can see on the right-hand side, he is versatile as anything. Central midfield, defensive midfield, left midfield, right midfield. He can play everywhere along the midfield. But don't you fucking dare even think about selling this player, Tottenham, because from a PR perspective, it can't get any worse. The feeling in the football club can't get any worse. It really, really can't. If we sell him to Chelsea or Aston Villa, I will do my nuts. He's not the best player in the world. He's not going to set the world alight by any stretch of the imagination. But when you've got Twitter accounts that are massively influential on what people read on socials, and they're coming out there saying, this is bang on the money, by the way. No point in being negative about Tottenham's Igor Tudor appointment. Underwhelming, maybe, but let's not pretend he's our long-term solution. There was a reason for the 4-month contract. In the meantime, let's get behind him. It is massively underwhelming, but that person's right. At this point, what does that solve? We're in a position right now where we are struggling by every stretch of the imagination, we are struggling for. And this comment here is absolutely bang on the money. This Jake Saunders, but what were Spurs hoping for? Someone with warmth and passion, someone who can galvanise and a demoralised and disunity group. To the best of my understanding, Tudor is cold, stubborn and confrontational, which tells you it's a match made in hell. Now, Bergvall, for me, I don't think he will be leaving, but if he does, that for me, that will upset a lot of fans. There's a lot of people in the dressing room, according to reports, that were unhappy when we sold Brendan Johnson. The Crystal Palace, fans are not particularly pleased with how Johnson's got on. And the last bit to wrap up today, Tottenham have left the door open for the United States boss, Mauricio Pochettino, to return to the club in the summer, with the Argentine having previously guided the club to a Champions League final. Igor Tudor's contract lasts until June 2026, and Pochettino's USA contract ends after the World Cup. I do believe the longer we sit in a situation like this, the more likely it is for Tottenham to actually go out there and bring in Pochettino. I honestly think that will happen. And I think that's the most likely outcome as it stands right now. Now, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Igor Tudor is going to do well? We've got a long way to go before the Arsenal game. There's a big 7 days. The players returning training on Monday. So hopefully, we're sharp. We've completely recovered. Hopefully we get some of the players back. There's a lot of players on our list of players that will be returning. That will be returning after, the end of February. I think Bergvall, Kudus, Porro, etc. But let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the way out if you haven't already. Do you think Bergvall will be joining Chelsea? Do you think he'll be joining Aston Villa? Or do you think he stays? Make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you next time. I am out.